Hi, we're back at Sister to Sister, and we are so excited. We have got a really special segment today, something we don't often get to do on Sister to Sister. We have a special guest. We're gonna do a food demo because we all know food's one of my favorite things. Katie Farrell is here today, and we are so excited. She is the founder of Dashing Dish. She has several books out. One is this, Devotions for a Healthier You, and then this, one of my favorites, is 100 Simple and Delicious Recipes for Clean Eating. And do you know why I love this book so much? It's because of what it says right here on the back. Who says that a soft-baked chocolate chip cookie has to have no nutritional value? I love this, and I love Katie. Katie, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
So happy to have you here. Now, I have to admit, I didn't actually think that there were 100 recipes that could be clean eating and delicious. And I do have to take care of some business here because I feel like this just isn't comfortable. I've got to throw off the shoes here. Now we're right there.
There
at the
you
same
go.
height. So, Dashing Dish, you went from a life where you were in a labor and delivery nurse, and you kind of totally did a 360. And I just want to hear a little bit about how you got from being there to Dashing Dish.
Definitely. You know, it really started when I was a teenager. I went through eating disorders, and I had a really hard time throughout my teen years, really knowing my identity and really figuring out, okay, how do I treat my body right? What's the proper balance? When I got into nursing school, I really started to learn about our bodies and what an amazing gift they are. I mean, to think that God created our bodies and how complex He made them.
Sure.
I started to realize we have to treat them right.
Right.
So I started to get into the kitchen and started to learn how to cook, and it was all pretty much self-taught, but I always say the Lord taught me how to cook. And, you know, I started to make recipes that I once loved in a healthier way. So when it comes to healthy eating, it doesn't mean you have to eat kale or salads and dry chicken breasts. You can eat pizza, you can have chocolate chip cookies, anything you enjoy, just in a healthier way.
You are speaking my language, girl. I
That's
love
right.
it. Now, I do want to touch a little bit on the eating disorder part, because I feel like we probably have some viewers out there that are dealing with that themselves, or maybe have a family member that are. How did you kind of come to the realization that this is something you needed to work on, and who helped you with that?
Really, it was, my eyes were open when I was 18 years old.
Okay.
My sisters came to me, they were crying. They said, Katie, we know what you're doing. Eating disorders is really pretty secretive and shameful.
Right.
And so they said, we know what you've been doing all these years, and we really need to, you know, pray together, and
Sure.
this has to come to a stop. And they're my best friends in the world, and I thought, I cannot do this anymore. And it was
Right.
like God opened my eyes at that moment. And so we prayed together, and I was instantly delivered physically from all the behaviors of
Wow.
eating disorders. However, I still had a lot of renewing my mind and a lot of changing and healing to do on the inside. And so God really used cooking as an avenue to sort of bridge that gap from really an unhealthy lifestyle, an unhealthy view of my body and food, to really learning to enjoy it in a balanced way.
That's so amazing, just to see that God used something that was a negative in your life and then totally turned that around and made that something that's now a passion and that you're using for Him. That is amazing.
That's what I always like to say. God takes anything that's ashes in our life and turns it into something beautiful.
So awesome. Now, another thing I want to talk about, because the sisters talk a lot about a lot of different issues, is your husband was a big part of you making Dashing Dish and kind of changing the career choice that you had. How was that working with your husband, and how did you make that leap into a leap of faith, really, of leaving that career and moving into this passion of yours?
My husband was a huge part to this decision. He said to me one day, Katie, why don't you start a hobby, a side hobby, in addition to nursing, where you share your recipes on a website? And he's a graphic designer. So I said, okay, you make me a website and I'll share the recipes. Well, over the years, it started growing and growing, and I realized that God had more to do with Dashing Dish than I even thought. That really, this was a ministry.
Right.
And so my husband said to me one day, I was crying going to work, and I was like, I can't go to work. I just feel so pulled
Sure.
to Dashing Dish and doing this ministry. And he said, Katie, what is in here? What's in your heart? And he said, follow that, because that's what God is putting in your heart to do. And so it took me a few months, I'm not gonna lie. I really had to pray about it. I had to really seek the Lord, and God confirmed it time and time again to me, where I just knew that I knew this was what he was calling me to do. But my husband was a huge part to just really helping me take that leap of faith.
Sure. Well, I mean, we want to experience some of this passion, and I know that you have developed so many wonderful recipes. What recipe do you have to share with us today?
Well, we have mini deep dish pizzas, so I really like to make these for, I mean, they're great for kids, they're great for appetizers, great for game day.
I love pizza,
you name
by the
it.
way. Pizza's
If you
like my fave.
pizza, you will love this recipe. So these are a healthier spin on pizza, or
Okay.
even pizza rolls.
Okay.
And you can make, kids can make them, they're so easy.
Okay.
So what I do is I took a whole wheat tortilla here.
Okay.
And really, you can use any kind of tortilla you want. And I've just made them into little circles. And how I did that was with just a jar or a can, and you kind of just cut out a circle here, or even a cookie cutter.
Okay.
And so when you do that, it just pops out
cool.
just like
Look
that.
at that. That's
and then
amazing.
you just push them in to the muffin tin, and it kind of makes the crust or the base for your
Okay.
pizzas. And then the filling can really have anything that you want on your
Okay.
pizza. I mean, you could go nuts.
I'm
you
a
could
cheese
add
person, so we
green
want cheese.
peppers, anything. So here we have pizza sauce.
Okay.
So that's obviously a crucial thing. And then Parmesan cheese. And this is just to give it a little flavor, but you don't
Okay.
have to add any of these things if, you know, you kind of like to do your pizza your own style.
Okay.
A little seasoning. So this is garlic powder.
Okay.
And a little seasoning goes a long way. And I always
Now,
like
are you like, I know it's called dashing dish, are you like a dash of this, a pinch of that? Like, I need numbers here, lady.
It could be. So with the seasonings, I would say, here I put in Italian seasoning, I put in garlic powder, and I have some oregano.
Okay.
And you could use about a 4th teaspoon of each of these
Okay.
seasonings in here.
Good.
And you're right, people are like, oh gosh, you're like Rachel, right? You throw stuff in a bowl. But you know, this is kind of what I do. And really, it's not baking. So it's
Okay.
not an exact science. You can make these however you
Okay.
want. And that's why I say you can add in your own toppings, anything. And then, so you just stir this up,
Okay.
and you put these right into the little crust. So I'll have you fill the
Awesome.
crust, and we'll probably want a little more pizza sauce
Okay.
in order to
Throw
fill
it in
all
there.
of those.
Yeah, I am a total pizza girl, so like pizza alternatives are a good thing for me.
Oh, yeah.
Now, how much do we want to put in here?
Just so that, just about
Too much?
3/4
Okay.
full, just so that
right.
it's.
So we do that.
Yep.
All right.
And then you can just top these with a little mozzarella.
We're not doing a little. We're gonna do a lot.
There you go.
There
And
we
you know,
go.
I put chicken in the pizza sauce sometimes, shredded
I
chicken.
like that.
Some Italian turkey sausage, so it's a little healthier.
I'm a mushroom girl.
You could do mushrooms. You can put it right in
Okay.
the sauce, or you
Okay.
can put it on top.
Oh, yeah,
Here
I
we
didn't
have
think about
turkey
that.
pepperonis. So
Okay.
now you're talking my language. You know, it's too bad we don't have sweets here, because
Oh my
clearly we're both
gosh.
sweets girls, and
Oh
I'm
my
like,
gosh.
sure, I love pizza, but could we just have some dessert already? Because that is what we want to get to.
I have a really cute story. Our heritage is Swedish. Are you Swedish?
No.
Okay. Well, our
German.
heritage is Swedish, and my little Phoebe said one day something about her Swedish tooth instead of her sweet tooth. I thought that was
love
so cute.
that.
And you know what?
I
Hey,
think I have
a little
that
more
too.
cheese.
There
on
you
top.
go.
There we go. We
Taking
like
something
cheese.
healthy and making it unhealthy.
Oh yeah, this is what not to do, right?
So you could even top these with a little
Okay.
Parmesan cheese, or, you know, more cheese if you want. So really whatever you'd like. But
Okay.
yeah, and it's all about making it adjusted to your personal
Okay.
taste. And that's what I like to do at Dashing Dish. I like to teach people you can have pizza, you can
Right.
have ice cream, you can have anything that you can imagine, brownies even, and you can make them healthier.
Right.
And it's just by making a few simple swap
Okay.
outs. Here you see, all we did was we treated the white
Sure.
tortillas for the whole grain tortillas. Instead of having tons and tons of, you know, cheese and white bread dough,
Right.
we just had a little bit of crust and a little bit of cheese and mostly tomato sauce. So it's
Okay.
a healthier way to do it.
So what are we baking this for?
450, 10 minutes.
Okay.
Just until it starts to kind of get, you know, bubbly on the top
Okay.
and golden brown.
And the magic of television, right?
Yes. So here we have the mini deep dish pizzas.
I wish I could do this at home, like magic oven. There you go. Doesn't that look delicious? We love it. So what are some other simple substitutes that we can make for everyday things that we might use too much in our recipes?
That's a great question. I always say if you're going to get rid of anything, get rid of the white flour and the white sugar. Those are the two things that I always say, just get rid of them. And you don't have to go without. Like we talked about, I love sweets. So find a natural sweetener. You could use raw sugar, sugar in the raw. It's just unprocessed. So it's not bleached white sugar. But then also there's stevia, there's honey, there's maple syrup. So there's natural sweeteners that are much better for your body.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that.
And then with white flour, I actually make oat flour. And how you do that is you take old-fashioned oats, so oatmeal, you throw it in a blender or food processor, you grind it up so it forms a flour, and there you go. You replace your white flour with oat flour.
Who would have known?
And we all know oatmeal is so good for us. And yet you can swap it out cup for cup in any recipe.
Oh, that's so amazing. I have to say, one of the videos I watched of yours from Dashing Dish is the veggie spiralizer, which I was very intimidated by, and I got one, and it's like changing my life. I don't think I'm gonna buy pasta ever again.
I'm so happy to hear this. I know, I'm telling you, anything.
So good.
I mean, I'm thinking, what can I spiralize? I'm looking around the grocery store. What can I make into a spiral? But it's so great because it's just a simple little tool, very inexpensive. You can take zucchini, put it right on, spiralize it, and it makes zucchini noodles.
And my kids loved it. I have to say that.
Awesome.
I blended it with the pasta, but now we're straight zucchini, so it's great.
I love that.
Well, thank you so much for coming today and just for those tips that you gave us. For more tips from Katie, you can go to dashingdish.com or go to ctvn.org. We are so thankful that you came today, and your beautiful books are available. You want to tell us how we can get those?
Yes, these are on my website, www.dashingdish.com.